because I am telling you, nobody does horror like Korea does. It puts American horror to fucking shame. Let's start with not only what is my favorite Korean horror movie, but what is one of my top 10 favorite horror films of all time. I should also preface this by saying Korean horror is not for the weak of heart. It is some of the most like downright disturbing and uncomfortable, but also like tragically beautiful shit you'll ever see in your life. I Saw the Devil is brutal, it's visceral, it is fucking breathtaking at the same time though. It will shock you to your core. It will leave you staring at the screen as the credits roll, feeling absolutely numb. Train to Busan, on the other hand, will make you feel emotions that you did not even know existed. This might single-handedly be the movie that fucking broke me the most in my life. I've never had a movie watching experience like I did watching Train to Busan. I have never ugly cried so hard in my life. I've never been so angry in my life in the same hour and a half. And this is still my favorite zombie movie of all time. I think this comment was left on a video I did about Old Boy because Old Boy is also just one of my favorite movies of all time. I think this is one of the greatest films ever made. People will argue with me and not call this one a horror movie. I don't give a fuck what you want to call it. It's a fucking masterpiece. It also has one of the greatest twists in cinematic history. Forgot to mention the first two movies are free on Tubi and Old Boy is currently on Netflix, probably for a limited time. So those three are pretty commonly talked about when people talk about Korean horror. This movie, however, is not. This is a movie I found randomly on Netflix and I can't believe I had not heard about it sooner. This one has such a unique concept. It's basically about these two girls who live in the same house but 20 years apart, but somehow they get on the phone with each other. And like their actions literally change the trajectory of time and it ends up being absolutely fucking wild. And this one is still on Netflix right now. The Wailing, this is another one people talk about a lot when talking about Korean horror because this one is just like truly chilling and terrifying like nothing you've ever seen before. Again, Korean horror is just like so atmospheric and so unsettling. I don't know what it is, but they know how to fucking make a horror movie and they know how to chill you to your core. Ganjiam Haunted Asylum is probably the one on this list that scared me the most. This movie is fucking terrifying and it was the first movie I watched in a really long time to truly scare me. This one is also for free right now on Tubi. I don't know if I mentioned this, but The Wailing is on Netflix. Another one that's on Tubi currently, but I found out about through Shudder, The Closet. So this one's about this father and daughter who move into a new house, but then the daughter goes missing, but the father then hears shit coming from inside the closet, and we found out that's where she went missing. This one ends up being like really dark and sinister. Another one I found out about through Shudder, Warning, Do Not Play. So this is about this girl who's investigating this like cursed film kind of ring type shit. But the jump scares in this one come out of fucking left field and it's like from beginning to end, like continuous. And this one you can still watch on Shudder right now. The Tale of Two Sisters is a classic. This one's more of like a psychological thriller, but again, like the jump scares and there are moments in this movie that I will never be able to get out of my memory. If you've seen the American movie, The Uninvited, you know the plot to this movie, but this one still just manages to do it so much better. And like it still is shocking even if you know how it ends. I can't find this one streaming anywhere right now, but you can rent it on Amazon. The Witch, so this is actually a series. I so far have only seen the first part, but I absolutely plan on watching the next two parts as well. This one is more of an action movie, but like the fight scenes in this movie are so incredible and so worth watching. If you're a fan of Stranger Things, like this kind of gives off the same energy, but just like way more brutal. I watched this on Shudder, but you can also watch it for free on Tubi. The Lingering, so this one takes place in a haunted hotel and it kind of gives off like The Shining vibes, but way more fucked up, and this one is currently on Shudder. And finally, this is a movie I just watched this week. It's actually on Tubi as well. It's called The Mimic. To be perfectly honest, I think they could have executed this one a little bit better, but there are, again, just some moments in here that are never going to leave my memory and were so fucking terrifying. And just the whole concept of this movie having a mimic, like hearing loved ones' voices coming from not your loved ones, freaks me the fuck out.